Hey Internet, it's Gunter, and today we are going to do an old-fashioned random paint challenge. Alright, it is coming up on New Year's, so we're coming up on reworking the channel again, as we always do every 6 weeks or 8 weeks it seems. That's okay, that is part of our mantra and our charm, I hope. For the new year, we are going to already have project ideas from our Discord channel. I really enjoy the brainstorming online with those folks. So, and if you have ideas that you want to spitball with us or brainstorm with us, you can check out the Discord. The links are in the description. And the big project that they came up with in the last week here is a diorama, first of all, so that means at least 4 to 7 projects or videos worth of material. And the diorama that they want is a Mandibarch Lab. So very kind of dear to the channel. Mandibarch is a recurring villain, a longtime villain in the Gatherverse, and I think the new year will be a good time for him to return from the grave. Spoiler alert for my players. But a Mandibarch Lab means tech and mech that isn't otherwise in the Gatherverse. Mandibarch got pulled into the mech world, which is sort of like a cross between the Borg and the Matrix a little bit, where it still has the fantasy races, but they've all been enslaved by machines. He was able, with his supreme intellect, to talk his way out of being completely assimilated and maintained his autonomy. Not without first losing the lower half of his body, which is a set of mechanical spider legs now. But he built labs all over the continent, and he actually helped Eurica build Atlica. So he built the big mechanical library underneath that city 1,000 years ago, when he was trying to reform and not be a villain. But when he was defeated, when he was killed, all of his experiments and labs and everything was released onto the continent as sort of a kill switch trigger. So when he finally did perish, all of these mutations and machines and scary stuff just sort of appeared all over the place. And so heroes and story writers are constantly coming across abandoned Mandibarch labs in various states of being ransacked because of the treasure opportunity for unique metals and special crafting materials and things like that. For our project, our random rolling project, this is going to be a miniature that we paint that is going to be one of the creations, one of the experiments in the lab. So I have a bunch of ideas for the lab. We want to hear your ideas in the comments. And I have some fun projects that either failed projects that need to be repurposed, or materials that haven't really fit in other fantasy settings. I'm excited for the kind of technology, sci-fi. I don't do a ton of sci-fi, but this is going to be a chance for us to give that a whirl. So I know the lab is going to have consoles, and there's going to be wiring all over the place. I know that there's going to be at least 1 or 2 chambers or stasis pods, and maybe we do 1 or 2 that are undisturbed and one that's broken open. for that. And I know that I want there to be either a representation of Mandibarch or one of his monsters, along with adventurers. I think putting that fantasy element in will kind of ground it and also make it usable for all the RPG playing that we do. And that's another one of our big go-tos and needs for the channel is most everything that we create, we try to make it usable for D&D or Pathfinder. So our first project is going to be this random paint. If it works to be one of the heroes, or if it works to be one of the experiments, and it may not, and that's okay, but we're going to get it rolled up here. Alright, I've got 20 options loaded up onto my computer screen, got my dice, and let's see what kind of paint challenge we have got for this week. I rolled an 8. Well, this is definitely going to be a challenge. I rolled the lighting challenge, which is great for lab with all the lights and little bulbs and things all over the place, and lasers maybe. Change the direction of the light so it's not directly overhead, or do some other lighting effect. So a million years ago, the last project we had with the lighting roll, we painted with glow-in-the-dark paint, and so that was kind of a creative cheat of the lighting challenge. But I think this time we'll actually try and paint something that is standing in front of something on the floor that's glowing. So we'll try and change our direction of the light. I have no idea how I'm going to do this, but let's give it a try. So another thing that is back for the new year is the big box of random, only this time they are sorted into compartments based on type. So we'll have a little bit more choice, a little bit more options. So if I roll one number, it might be goblins. If I roll another number, it might be casters or undead. And then we'll be able to pick from that little area which one we think matches the project the best. So we've got, it's kind of a combination now of the completely random that we had it before, and the random but still have a chance to kind of make it match the project. So here we go. Here's my D20. So if I roll a 19 or a 20, then I get to pick. I rolled a 10. Alright, I got undead, which is really perfect for a Mandibarch Lab project. So here's the two that I'm choosing between. I've got this, they're both Mage Knight conversions, so they both are minis that we had in our Suicide Prevention Awareness video that we put new bases on. So we've got this vampire, and we've got this big-handed zombie there. I kind of want to paint both. So, I mean, the lighting challenge, we would just paint them both the same way, or do we have them facing different lighting? I think, well, they both have like shackles, like they could be experiments. I think we're gonna do both. Alright, I love how they turned out. I'm excited for the rest of the Mandibarch Lab projects. Watch for those and send us your ideas on the Discord. We appreciate all of our Patreon folks, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks, Internet.